Bad news is, unlike Brian's dad, I have absolutely no talent. But I would like to say it's so nice to see so many old friends here today, and to see so many new friends whom I've met for the first time today here. Everybody who is here today, obviously, someone who is very special, has been very special in the life of Heather, or Brian, or both of them. And we thank you so much for being here today to participate in this joyful occasion. I greatly appreciate that. I'd like to especially acknowledge some people for whom none of us would be here but for them, because Heather and Brian wouldn't be here. Raymond Enitsuko, Yoshino, Brian's grandparents on his mother's side. It is such an honor. And Don and Sharon Avery. Heather's grandparents on her mother's side. Thank you so much. It's great having you with us. Not to speak, of course, of Brian's parents, Chester and Susan. For better in-laws, nice people. So nice to have you. And I'd also like to give some special thanks to Christina. So what a wonderful ceremony. And to Vince for his work on the guitar. And to Heather, whom I will always be Heather K and Heather S. And I don't care that you have new last names, you're always going to be Heather K. I was telling my Heather yesterday at the rehearsal that we did that I'm sorry, I have to be out of the room when Heather is singing that song because it just makes me have big tears in my eyes. It's such a wonderful moment. Thank you, Heather. But you know, a few months ago, I was in a store in Hanford called Artisans. I was doing Christmas shopping a little bit before Christmas. It's a store that sells paintings and pottery and things like that. It's an art store. It was before Christmas, so there were quite a few customers in there. And among the customers was a lady who looked to be about 55 or so, and another lady who looked to be about 75 or so. And the 55-year-old lady walked up to some ceramics pottery, and I happen to know that these ceramics were done actually it was done by Heather and Amelia's old high school art teacher who retired and now is in commercial art. And she picked up the piece of pottery and looked up, it was translucent, very beautiful piece. She picked it up to look at it, and the 75-year-old lady said, "Be careful with that, don't drop it." Mother, I'm not 10 years old anymore. Without any thought, it just came out to me. I just said out loud, when you're a parent, your child is always 10 years old. And Ron said, yeah, that's right. I think it's kind of a universal feeling of parents towards their children. But of course, it's not literally true. Heather, sometimes you're not 10 years old, you're 2.5 years old. We're on the carpet in the living room while your mom's out in the other room fixing dinner. We're playing Care Bears. Sunshine Bear. Brian, I know that it's a challenge to, to fly off to China or Korea and solve these electronics manufacturers' software problems about how their products are going to interact with business products, and that's a real challenge. Who knows what the future will bring? If you want a challenge, try ad-libbing 40 minutes of dialogue between a Care Bear. Third time that week, yeah. It's not easy. Or I wouldn't trade a minute of it. Not a minute. Heather, at every age and at every stage of life, your mother and I have been so proud of you. Proud of you today. We're so happy for you and for Brian. Couldn't ask for a nicer son-in-law, a more wonderful person than Brian, and for better in-laws. It's wonderful. Thank you. Your mother and I wish you joy and health. We wish you a little bit of adventure. We wish you the good sense and the wisdom to get through the hard times and to appreciate and savor the good times. And if anybody has anything left in your glass, I ask you to join me in a father's toast to his daughter and her husband on the day of their wedding. Through good times and bad, whether happy or sad, rely on each other, but don't forget that.